to Beyond the Headlines on WMBD Plus, where we break down today's local news stories with our very own reporters. I'm Brianna Rittman.
And I'm Christopher Huselig. Today's big stories are: we're learning more about a possible strike with ISU employees. Then we'll hear about a March Madness startup competition.
And lastly, we're getting an update on the Artemis II mission. But our first story of the day is an update on Illinois State University and the possible strike we told you about Monday. Now, we have just learned negotiations have appeared to fail between university leaders and AFSCME Local 1110. Now, those union members are set to strike.
WMBD's Cameron Main joins us now live from ISU's campus, where the union just made the announcement they are setting up the picket lines. Now, Cameron, when do they plan to strike?
Chris and Brianna, I just want to say that it is very cold right now, but the union's hearts are colder. They're going to sit here 6 a.m. ready to strike across campus. They're going to be at the Bone Center, at the Milton. They're going to be all across the board. Now, this has come after these negotiations have apparently failed. I talked to Union President of AFSCME Local 1110, Chuck Carver. He says that when they had these conversations with ISU, they kind of gave their best, last, and final offer. Well, it wasn't good enough for the union. They say that what they're giving, their wages that were proposed were not livable in the current environment. Now, they gave their own counteroffer. ISU allegedly denied that offer, according to the union president. Now, they're going to strike. So there are some contingencies that could happen here. One, talking to some union members, they say that across the board, they might hear from ISU later in the night, even as early as 2, 3 a.m. And if they ask for renegotiations, that they have a different deal, that they want to do something different, those union members will wake up and renegotiate. But until then, if they do nothing until 6 a.m., a strike is set on ground. And now, I want to be clear on who AFSCME Local 1110 represents, because it's not the professors, it's not the teachers, it's the groundskeepers, the lawn mowers, it's the janitors, it's the dining service staff. It's those people that behind the scenes really make ISU work. They're not the professor or education side of things. So those are the people, and they represent, the group here represents over 300 different employees. So we'll see how things go after tomorrow.
Okay, Cameron, before we let you go, are there any details you can share about what exactly union members are asking for from the university?
Well, basically, they're being asked for a livable wage. Now, I'm not exactly sure on those details, but they were saying that the amount that they have to get from wages, but then also pay for parking, just to even park and work in the area. They don't seem to be earning enough, according to them, so that's why they're really trying to fight for this higher wage. And now, this isn't the only college that is fighting or striking for different wages. Faculty staff over at UIS in Springfield, they are also fighting for, they're striking right now for a higher wage. It seems like across the board there's some issues with the colleges and being able to fund these groups, and a part of it comes, I'm going to bring state politics into it, because I talked to State Representative Sharon Chung, and she says that maybe this is a sign that we haven't funded at the state level all the colleges that have really needed the funding, and so it's kind of put themselves into this position. So I think it is important to say that both State Representative Sharon Chung and State Senator Dave Kaler were here today at the union fight, and they seem to be wanting to talk to the ISU folks, and especially leadership, President Tahule, about what is next. How could they stop this strike? How can they get a deal? How can they make all sides happy? But union president said that he doesn't feel like that the ISU is meeting them in the middle. So we'll see how the next couple of days come.
All right, well, thank you, Cameron. Now, staying with college campuses, men's college basketball season is over, and the winner of the NCAA National Championship Tournament is Michigan. For the first time in 37 years, the Wolverines will took home the big trophy, beating UConn 63-69. 69-63. Michigan's 541 total points throughout the March Madness tournament is the second most ever by a national champion. What do you have to say?
That's a lot of
Sports Zone.
Yeah, that's a lot of points, man. Michigan looked really good. We didn't have high hopes for them on the podcast when the tournament first started.
Okay.
But they came up with some big wins, especially over Arizona. So they played good, and UConn just couldn't UConn just couldn't quite keep up with the Big Blue. That's that's just Dusty May's a great coach over there, doing some great things. And in his infancy, he hasn't been in Michigan very long. Not a school historically you think of basketball,
right?
But they got it done, and great matchup between him and between Dusty May and Dan Hurley, who's UConn's coach. So just fun to watch, and that March Madness is great because it's two teams that didn't really have high hopes for because they kind of had rocky ends to their seasons, but they got it done. So
they did. Shout out to Shelby Roberts, former evening anchor here. She's a Wolverine.
Hey.
So we would have had a former colleague of hers, Treasure Roberts, is Michigan State. So it's fun. I've been seeing people, even though Michigan State was nowhere near the Final Four, people have been teasing each other, decorating their bosses' offices with the opposing team and stuff. So go Big Blue, I guess.
Yeah, we got that Michigan State green on today.
That was not planned. Oh, my goodness. All right, when we come back on Beyond the Headlines, we've got Alex Berger joining us in the hot seat to talk about a national competition for startups that has Peoria in the Final Two. We'll tell you more about Midwest Madness when we return.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines on WMBD Plus. And before we get into our next story, I did want to clarify, Brianna, Michigan State was actually pretty close to the Final Four. They made it to the Sweet 16. They were 2 wins away. Fairly good season for the Spartans over there.
I'm sorry for misspeaking Michigan State. I definitely was watching the women's more than the men's, so thanks for clarifying that.
I don't blame you. Women's basketball is just as good to watch too. So anyway, our next story of the day, in the spirit of the madness during this month, Peoria is excelling in an online competition set up in a bracket. Alex Berger joins us now to tell us more. Now, Alex, what is this competition?
Absolutely. So this is kind of an interesting thing. This is not basketball based by any means. This is called Midwest Madness. This is the 2026 Midwest Madness, and it is exclusively on LinkedIn. So basically what this is LinkedIn is a place for networking, right? This is a place, it's an app where people can make connections, find different, jobs. They can see the openings. They can meet people that maybe are from, their alumni network, or they can meet people that are, about to graduate, maybe get hired. And what this does is it allows, different people to kind of make new connections. But this is kind of highlighting where the best place for that is. And so startups, of course, being, entrepreneurship ventures, if you will. So if you have an idea, you create a business on it, it's your very original idea, that's a startup. Self-funding, finding investors to actually go towards your idea, that is a startup. So basically, where is the best place for a startup to be? And Peoria is in the championship. So they are playing Sioux Falls. Should I say playing? They're going up against Sioux Falls, South Dakota, to see who is the better place for startups.
Okay, so they're going against Sioux Falls. Is that the only city, or how did this work? Where did they start? How many other cities? Do you know any?
So the nice thing is just like the Certain Madness competition you're familiar with, there is 64 cities within this in the Midwest, and there is 4 quadrants of 16 seeds. Peoria is a 2 seed. Sioux Falls is a 5 seed. So they had to go through the same 5 rounds. So they did the round of 64, 32, Sweet 16, Elite 8, and the Final 4. That's 5 rounds. Now they're in the championship, hoping to, take home a trophy. There's no cash, no cash prize. There's bragging rights and a trophy.
Well, so me for one, I live in Peoria.
He does.
How do I vote for Peoria? Well, I want Peoria to win. How do I help them out?
That's right. So if you would like to vote in this competition, you have to have a LinkedIn account. And if you search Midwest Madness, it should be able to come up for you. And like I said, you have to either make a LinkedIn account. A lot of people already have one, but you will need an account to do it. More than 1,500 people have voted so far, and Peoria ain't doing so hot. So they're looking for more votes, so that's the way you can vote for that.
Yeah, well, Alex, thank you for sharing the Midwest Madness with us.
Very competitive around here.
Yeah, it's not basketball. You can't shoot 3-pointers, but you can click on your phone.
Oh, hey, that's
How long do we have to?
You have a 3-day, or the competition, the championship is 3 days, so it has until the end of Thursday.
Okay.
So if you're watching this on Friday, you know what? I guess just stick
Still
to
love
Facebook.
the heart
Who
that
knows?
counts.
It's the thought that counted. So, what can I say?
Oh, man. Well, thank you, Alex. Now, guys, a cake created as an April Fool's joke turned a bakery in a suburb of Detroit into a viral sensation. On April 1st, the Homestead Kitchen Bakery posted this picture on Instagram of a brownish gray lamb with a buck-toothed smile. The caption read, "Order your lamb cake for Easter." It got more than 4 million views on Instagram and shown on TMZ.
Now, the bakery then made them available for purchase, and they actually sold out. On Instagram, the baker posted, "Working for 6 years to get the world to notice my beautiful cakes," when all it took was one ugly cake. Mess sells, man.
If I walked down to the kitchen in the middle of the night and that thing was sitting on my table, I might freak out.
Right.
Or dig in.
No.
I mean, hey, cake in the
It's
middle
cake
of the
is
night?
cake.
I think I've had a nightmare that looks like that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now, I will say, in relation to that, before I was going to be a journalist, I was going to be a barber. Now, the thing with barbering, is that the term? You have to work your way up, right? You're not just automatically good at haircuts, or
Right.
in my case, I never was. You have to do these practices. And I would make barber friends. And there was a Facebook group. And let's just say I had a haircut that I did on a friend of mine that I thought was pretty nice and posted it in there. Hey, that was not an April Fool's joke, but boy, howdy
Wow.
did they treat it like one.
I have
you have pictures
seen
of it?
I have seen the photo
used
of
to.
this haircut. It was bad. It was-
They're asking for you to come back on the show tomorrow to show us.
Oh, Lord. I could not do that. I could not do that to this friend because it's rough.
We'll put
It
the
was-
smiley face over his face.
Truthfully,
it's a pretty bad haircut, guys.
Wow.
it's rough. And
And you thought it was decent. Wow.
to the person who it was to, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I'm truthfully sorry.
All right. Well, thank you, Alex, friend of the program. We've got one more story for you when we return on Beyond the Headlines. We're hearing more about the astronaut strip for Artemis 2 when we return. We'll be back. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. We're keeping up on the Artemis 2 mission now. The 4 brave astronauts are already on their way back to Earth.
Their historic lunar flyby lasted roughly 7 hours, but the out-of-this-world memories they created will last forever.
Orion has departed the lunar sphere of influence.
Artemis 2 is once again under the gravitational pull of Earth instead of the moon. The astronauts woke up Tuesday to the song Tokyo Drifting, resting after their 7-hour lunar flyby, which captured images like these of the moon and a few selfies. NASA released the pictures Tuesday, providing an up-close view of craters on the far side of the moon.
Those are beautiful, magnificent, and again, words never put actually the trueness behind what they capture.
Houston copies. We'll see you on the other side.
The lunar flyby made history, taking the astronauts farther into space than any other human.
To all of you down there on Earth and around Earth, we love you from the moon.
What they saw stunned them.
The surprise of the day, we just came out of an eclipse, and the entire dark moon, about that big, right out the window that we were watching. We could see the corona of the sun, and then we could see the planet train line up. And all of us commented how excited we are to watch this nation and this planet become a 2-planet species.
The astronauts shared their thoughts with the crew aboard the International Space Station.
I found myself noticing not only the beauty of the Earth, but how much blackness there was around it.
The Orion capsule is now headed back home, scheduled to splash down off the coast of San Diego Friday night. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.
How awesome is that?
I've been following this and following NASA's.
Right.
I'm kind of nerding out about all of this, so I'm very excited. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's much fun. And then I just think about yesterday when they had like that 40 minutes of no radio activity. I was like, wow, they're some brave. I mean, so many levels of being brave for them.
Yeah, that's better people than me, that's for sure.
Right. I appreciate their pictures though.
Yeah, me too. Well, if you're a fan of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the company is dropping some interesting flavors that will take you back to when you were a little kid. Reese's is introducing the new Marshmallow Cup and bringing back the fan favorite Reese's Strawberry Peanut Butter and Jelly Cup. Both flavors are now available nationwide for a limited time and are offered in standard big cups, king big cups, and snack size bag sizes. Man.
Wow.
That's I love Reese's, but like I just can't do the extra.
Right. Reese's is one of those ones where I was just like, I'm cool with the original.
That's me too. Yeah.
I've done the Reese's covered pretzels they have. I've done those. Those weren't, those are okay too. But I mean, they had like the potato chip ones and everything.
Like I've tried a lot of them, and it's just I think the classic is so good.
Yes.
That it's like all the little spin-offs just don't really.
Same with Kit Kat. Kit Kat is another one where I just like the classic. Because I just remember everybody switched to like white chocolate, and then everybody had like a strawberries and cream or some other flavor. Like once they started testing with white chocolate, all the candy bars, then it was just, I definitely like the classic.
The one thing I will say about Reese's though, I'm a bigger fan of the holiday themed.
Okay.
So like, this sounds weird. I have a theory I can tell you after this, but I just think that like the Christmas trees and the Easter eggs, and I think they taste better. I don't know what it is. Actually, I have a theory on what it is, but so it's like it just when they try to add, like I tried the Oreo Reese's mashup.
Oh wow.
It was okay. It was all right, but I don't know. It's just I'm also not a big like candy fan, believe it or not.
Okay.
So it's like when they try to, I don't know, when I've had the same thing for years and you try to mess with it.
Right. I'm definitely very much.
It just
I like what I like.
Yeah, that's how I am too. And it's like peanut butter and chocolate, leave it alone. It's good.
That's it.
Now, like you said, like when they drizzle peanut butter and like make Reese's flavored like pretzels, that's good too because you're not changing Reese's. But like when they put the potato chips in them,
right.
Or when they put the Reese's Puff cereal inside.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. Also, like, just that, it's just a weird crunch.
Right.
And also, like,
texture and all that matters.
Potato chips.
Right.
Like, I put potato chips on sandwiches. Like, I get that. I don't really like it in my candy, though.
Right. I feel like if it just gets to the point, I think some of those things, like, even when Sprite does, like, their tea Sprite. It's like sometimes you just got to mix stuff yourself. So if I'm eating Reese's and I'm eating potato chips, just let it be that. You don't need to figure out what ratio I like to do that. And I think that's the problem with some of them. They see people do these things a lot and they're trying to cut it out and make it easier for us. But it's like, no, people have their own ratio the way they want to do things.
Yeah, and it's just like I said, now will I try the marshmallow? Probably just because I want to try. I like trying things.
Right, true.
But at the end of the day, if I'm walking through the snack aisle, just give me the OG. And we'll move on because that's
right. They even had to go back to their original recipe recently because they had kind of changed certain things a little bit, and so keep it simple.
Yeah, it's leave it how it is, man.
And we love the classics. Now, thank you for joining us for today's Beyond the Headlines.
You can find all these stories and more over on our website, ciproud.com.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to ciproud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.